your stew. Bubble, bubble, what's that do? Smells so wrong but feels so right. Pink smoke rising in the moonlight. Neighbors yelling, what's that blast? Too late, it's cooking fast. Hail, strawberry blue gas, blasting from the grass. Bubble and sizzle, it's science class. One big burp and the backyard blue. Now we're living next to Mount Doo-Doo. Built a grill from garbage cans, hooked it up with rubber bands. Dog barked once, the cat took flight, then boom, the sky turned brown and bright. It rumbled, it tumbled, it splattered the fence. A poop volcano makes no sense. Sticky strawberries rain from the sky. Compost cooking till the day I die. Filled strawberry blue gas, wild and crass. Flaming hot signs from the neighbor's grass. When it popped, we all went ooh. But dang, it smelled like barbecue too. So if you're brave and slightly nuts, mix that poop with grass and guts. Light it up and step way back. You might just launch your own snack shack. Bill strawberry poop gas. Cooking class.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Well, I just got back from a short bike ride. I went over to the neighborhood yard sale. So let me see how I sound. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Sound good as usual. Let me turn this. How do I turn this off? Come on, come on. There we go. And I'll turn you off. How do I turn you off? I can't. Oh, well. What do you expect from a tablet that came from the dump? So, how's everybody doing today? Everybody doing well? I hope so. I see that we already had over 30 people. Let me go over here and double check and see how many I have. I have 36 watching right now. That's pretty good. It's amazing that 36 people would sacrifice their valuable time to watch a total quack like me. So, let's get right down to it. Let's hit the comments and let's see who was here first. YouTube did not seem to delete my comments. Oh, it disappeared. Where'd it go? Here we go. All right. Let me go ahead and there we go. And we have Mike Seeley. There we are. All right. Greetings from Tampa Bay. See you on Friday for the Meat Fest. Yes. As you probably know, I was personally invited by Mitch and friends. So I have no choice but to go, because when Mitch and friends tells Rick to be somewhere, well, I think Rick better be there. It would be disrespectful, and it would be a shame, because I always have fun with my new friends. They feel almost like old friends. I guess we have a lot in common, so that's a good thing. All right, and Terry Girl, believe it or not, can't wait. I love Saturday mornings with Rick. Well, let's see, that was about 5 p.m. yesterday. So, yeah, I'm surprised anybody would want to watch mine. And Retired Rick says, not first, but you were still at 6:37 p.m. And Lady June says, good morning. And, of course, when I got in this morning, I went ahead and I put my comment. And let's see if I can find it, because there's been a lot of comments since there. There we go. I'm on my bike to the neighborhood yard sale in 5 minutes. That was me. Did you ever consider getting a trailer for your bike for hauling things? I used to have one, and it was pretty good until I lost it. It ended up in the canal. There's a long story behind that, but silly Rick was trying to chase a duck while pulling a bike trailer, and one of the sidewalk slabs tipped up and hit and flipped me, basically flipped the bike up in the air. Trailer came off, and it went in the canal, and I was never able to retrieve it. So, oh well, maybe one day. But I do have my van, and I'll have my truck before you know it. Hope you get some good stuff at yard sale. It was a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of, like, clothes and ceramic crap. Like, I got tons of that junk. Look over here. My mom used to collect a lot of that useless junk. Stuffed animals, glass figurines, ceramic. It's a bunch of junk that older people would collect. There was a whole industry in that. Plus, my mom was a home shopping and QVC addict, so you can only imagine how much junk. And there's a bunch of that at the yard sale. There's a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes, but where are you going to find size 15 or 16? You don't find them very often. That's why my shoes are always old and ratty. Once in a while, you hit it big, but it's not easy. So the only thing I saw there that I might want there's some Plymouth hubcaps, and there's some Imperial hubcaps. So I saw 4 Plymouth hubcaps and 4 Imperial hubcaps. I know the guy that sells them. If I tried to get them now, he'd want too much. So I'll wait a little bit later. If they're still there, then I'll buy them. I got plenty of dollar bills, and I got about $60 sitting here. But it's going to have to be split between 2 yard sales. Excuse me. Or as I call it, the swap meet. There's 2 of them. The one around the corner at the church, and then there's one at the University of Miami, which would be the ham radio swap. And I do get good stuff over there. Although the church yard sale is about 3/4 the size it was last year. Maybe more people will come later. And the University of Miami flea market, that was like half the size the last time I went. Hopefully this week it'll be better, but you never know. It may be worse. Everything's just kind of dying out. People are leaving Miami. Some of the people that I used to go to here, they're gone. I've already talked to my friend over there. He's like 3 people have already moved. People are leaving this area like you wouldn't believe. It's like a race for the door. And unfortunately, I may be one of the last to leave, but it's okay. I don't have to leave yet. I'm still surviving. Miami is a very, very, very bad place. The wages here are garbage. Living expenses are very high. Traffic is impossible. And hardly anyone speaks English as a native language anymore. So it's a real challenge to live here. And if you're looking for a place to start out, my recommendation, absolutely do not come to Miami. You would be better off in Port-au-Prince than in Miami. Why do I hear a noise? I think my neighbors are getting their friends together to go out on the boat. I mean, they rent this house across the street, and yet they have shared ownership in a boat. I don't know. If I was going to waste money, I would probably go find a house somewhere and not rent, and then get a boat. But this is Miami, so you know in Miami you got to have all the crap first and then a place to put it later. All right, so let's see. We have a hello to Brian from Juliet, and good morning from Maine, and good morning all you fine peoples from Retired Rick. And we have a good morning to Rick. Hope he shows us his haul. You can be sure I will. Going after more junk, I see. Well, I haven't got anything yet. The money is still in my pocket. I am very selective because I got better junk than anybody else. Why would I want more crap? Besides, if I want just a bunch of crap, I can just hit the dumpster. There's always crap in the dumpster. And Sandy says, good morning. That's right. With coffee, not liquor. We know that Russ likes to tease you on that, but it's just silliness. And Jerry wanted to make sure she was listening from her first shift overtime this morning. Well, that is awesome. I hope she is. Good morning to Sandy. I used to love yard sales. I don't have any room to put anything else now. I know the feeling. Just look around. Once I get my truck back together, My ex is a chronic yard sailor auction goer. He used to do really well in turning a profit before he developed a problem, parting with things. Yeah. I got a pile of crap that my mother had. It's in the storage room. I need to sell it at a yard sale, but with my home in bad shape and my truck and all these other projects and all these side jobs that keep taking my time, haven't been able to do it. But I will. One of these days, I'm going to have a massive yard sale here, or I may hit the neighborhood yard sale and try to sell as much crap as I can. And it's going to be extra cheap because I do not want to hold on to it. And Dustin says his wife is a reseller. We go yard selling and stuff when the weather turns warm. She's been doing this since 2002. And it's a growing thing. A lot of people do that. And Mike came back. Greetings again from Tampa. See you in a few days. Yes, it's going to be great. As always, good friends and great food. My camera's out of focus. Let me switch. There we go. It still looks like crap. What do you expect? It has to look at me. The camera's like, I can't stand this Mr. Rogers carnivore guy. So we're going to blur him out so he doesn't look too bad. That way the vegans can't torture him. But vegans, yeah, whatever. Okay, so, and we have a good morning to Mike. And Bride's Biscuit says good morning. Sup, fam? That is it. And we have a good morning there. And Aaron says good morning to everyone. And Sandy says good morning to Aaron. And Retired Rick says good morning to Aaron. And good morning from Sandy and Retired Rick. Rick could do well for himself if he'd focus on that aspect of it. I think. Great opportunity right there in front of him. You talking about collecting crap? Yeah, I'm not really interested, but every time I try to get rid of something nobody wants it, I have to end up giving it away. And Smoothie420 says, good morning, Rick and all the quackers. And Dustin, Aaron, good morning. We got a good morning to multiple viewers from Dustin. And thumbs up, please. I agree with that 100%. Dustin, good morning. And BMet 369, good morning. Well, good morning. And Lady June, good morning. And morning to Dustin. And from Sandy. So Dr. Kiltz looks like a little kid next to Rick. Yes, you're looking at my intro. That is good. And I hear the music. That is a good thing. Good morning to Rick and Milton from Robbie Autry, who usually gets in Mitch's the first. And we have a good morning to Aaron. And it's 8:02. Yes. Good early quackers. Yes. I wonder how often Rick gets down to the water and puts his feet in the sand, not trying to catch a duck. Never. The last time I went to the beach was in the 1980s. I hate the beach. I hate the people. Well, I don't hate the people, but I hate the culture of the people there, so I avoid it. I don't want to have to deal with parking problems. I guess I could take the bus, but that's no fun. And I hate the sun. Believe it or not, I hate the sun. I spend enough time outside working physically. I hate the sun. If I wanted to go somewhere to relax, I would go where there's a big tree and a duck pond, and I'd have my net, and I'd have my duck food, and I'd be waiting. And here, ducky, 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 ducky. And that's it. And Retired Rick is saying hello to the other Rick. Yes, reminds me of those Tartarian giant pics. Sounds good, Rick. Well, I'm glad you enjoy the audio. Listening mode only from work now. Boss is close. No chit nor chat from me. Well, there you go. You don't want your boss to get upset. In my case, I have lots of bosses, everyone that I hire, especially with these little jobs, and then my tool breaks. So that's always fun. And let's see here. We will, Okay, there we go. Dustin has a friend that lives on the beach. I have a friend that lives on Hollywood Beach. Their house, the backyard, is the water. You may have seen the videos from that. So unlike the regular beach where you can't do anything, over there you can barbecue, you can bring your pets. The government can tell you, oh, you can't do that. It's like, dumbass, this property is on the beach. So go away. Bye-bye. And that's it. Because otherwise a regular beach is a joke. Oh, you can't even have a glass container. I can go there. I can sit out on their patio with my glass and drink all the water I want. And other people that like to drink poison, like alcohol or soda, they can drink all that they want. But the regular beach, oh no, you can't do this, you can't do that. You can't ride your ATV, but these cops ride back and forth and back and forth. Like, well, rules for me, but not for thee. So you can take your beach and shove it. If I want to roast in hot sun, I'll get paid for it. It's called work. Magnet fish your canal trailer. I tried that. But the problem is the canal it went into is the one that comes out of the water structure. And when they open that water structure, water comes rushing through there. As far as I know, my trailer is in Biscayne Bay by now. And that's been years. We're talking about 20 years ago. So that's it. Is Milton sleeping? Milton was absolutely crazy this morning, running all over the place, climbing, grabbing my leg. He didn't scratch me, though. Now, I found that this window cleaner that I use is a very effective method. I keep it next to me. When he tries to attack my hand, I give it a little spray, and that drives him off. But he'll be back. I fed him a bunch of meat, so he's probably on the bed, fast asleep. But around 10, 11, maybe towards noon, he'll get hungry again, and he'll be after me. But he's a lovable cat, and I do have the cat toy. I keep my cat fishing rod handy so we can keep Milton occupied. Anyway, all right. And here is the man. Good morning, Quackaholics. Well, Pretzel Pete is here, although I should say that he is no Pretzel Pete. And another one of our YouTube stars, or otherwise known as Keto Rock Star, is Rockin' Coach Amy. Good morning, everyone. And again, I see you have the coach in the name still. Your name hasn't changed. And between her and Juliet and a couple of our other friends, we have some really great and now official carnivore coaches. So if you know anybody who needs a little help with their lifestyle, you can always contact them. And I believe Amy gives a free introductory coaching session. So you can decide whether or not the relationship is good for you. And that's how a great business person works. They always give you a little trial so you can figure out whether you like it or not for services. And then you decide. There's no pressure. That's good. And knowing Amy, she'll always give you a break. All right. Hi, Pete. And hi, Amy. And hello, Juliet, Amy, Terry, Sandy. Hello, retired Rick, Ryan. And we'll just hit all these hellos. Rick will be chauffeured up by the Mitch's meetup in Melbourne by yours truly, Quack Jr. That is correct. It's going to be double quacked. I just have to get there. I will take the bus from here to Metro Rail. Then I'll take Metro Rail to the Tri-Rail, and then to Tri-Rail up to the Rat's Mouth where he's at, otherwise known as Boca Raton. Boca means mouth, and Raton means rat. So you live in the rat's mouth. I live in the rat hole. So actually, there are no rats here. There's too many cats. Between Milton patrolling the interior and Miss Kitty and a flock of other cats patrolling the outdoors, I haven't seen a rodent around here in 2 or 3 years. When I had no cats, I would have to kill rodents, and I always had rat traps. But who needs a rat trap when you have Milton? Dun, 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 dun. You see the tail moving like a shark fin. Rodents have zero chance. Even the roaches have zero chance. So Mike Seeley in Melbourne, which is Mike Seeley Sr. Good morning, everyone, from Melbourne, Florida, the home of our friend OGC Mitch. Living in landlocked Indiana, we look forward to go to the ocean. Yes, but then again, if I lived in Indiana, I would look forward to going to the cow pasture because a cow pasture is a lot better than a beach. Now, of course, you have to deal with cow poop, But then again, at the beach, you may have to deal with human poop, so that's not so good. There's homeless all over the place here. Not having glass containers makes sense because it gets broken, it causes problems. It only gets broken if people break it. But I am not drinking out of plastic. Absolutely not. I think that plastic is a terrible material and should never be used for any kind of glassware, storage, cookware, whatever. You can use it for things where it's disposable, and I do have plastic garbage containers, but I think that plastic, it should be used in conditions where it's not going to be released into the environment, because the last thing you need is plastic particles everywhere. But I see your point. Good morning, Rick and everyone. Well, good morning, Larry Ryan. Glad that you're here. Had to reluctantly go to the doctor Wednesday because my bad chest cold wouldn't go away after 10 days. Gave me an antibiotic, amoxicillin, and I finally feel 100% better, but I generally avoid doctors. Well, that's what the doctor is for, and I believe if you go to the doctor only when you need it, that's the way it should be. It's like medicine. Plants provide medicine. Taking a medicine when you have an infection, taking certain vaccines, those are good things because they can help you in your health journey. But if you go to the doctor over and over and over and over again, and you have to keep taking a prescription, then it's a problem. And speaking of celebrities, here we go. This is the man of the hour. It is Mitch, Old Guy Carnivore. It's a beautiful morning here in Melbourne, Florida. Good morning, Rick and everybody. Well, good morning to Mitch. And it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, as our friend would often say. Okay. Good morning, quackers and quackettes. Well, good morning, lambs. I'm glad that you are here. And Chuck is also here. Supertune. Good morning, Mitch. And good morning from Rick. Good morning, Professor Mitch. Yes, Dustin, a coach too. Yes, he is. And it's right. I don't know if he went through the Dr. Barry extremely expensive program or the Dr. Kiltz program, but it doesn't matter. Those are both great programs from what I've heard. And the idea of being a coach is you're not a doctor, you're not a nurse, you're not a healthcare professional. You're just there to guide people along. You're not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but you can give people information. If you want to get general information, in the past, we used to call them mentors and friends. But today, since people are kind of isolated, having someone that they can trust is a service that's valuable, and you can definitely be compensated for it. In fact, you're entitled to it if you're going to spend your time helping other people. So we have a lot of them. I have slowly replaced all plastic and transitioned to glass and stainless in the kitchen. I don't really use a water bottle when I'm riding my bike, but I do have one that I use when I'm traveling or whatever, although I don't think I'll be using one this Friday because I can go a long time without water if I'm not working, so that's not a problem. Lamb says hi to Mitch, and Amy's retracted a message. It's super muggy here in Clearwater, Florida. Where's spring? Feels like a summer morning. If it's bad there, it's worse here, trust me. Although this morning wasn't too bad, I rode my bike over to the church yard sale, and then after I'm done, now I'm going to limit this to probably an hour and a half because I'm going to get in my van and I'm going to drive to the ham radio flea market, and that's it. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Same in North Florida. So Florida is just hot. And a lot of it, there's a high pressure sitting over the Atlantic. It's pushing the warm air up over us and up the state. And you can see it when I'm riding my bike, weather's coming from the southeast. So the high must be somewhere out between Bermuda and Florida, and it's rotating around. Now, the bad news is with all that hot air going north, once it hits the cool air, they're going to have storms and tornadoes and maybe even snow in some places. I know in Michigan, I got a friend in Michigan, they've had serious tornadoes. I haven't heard from him, so hopefully he's okay. But yeah, that's all part of that weather system. There's actually what's known as atmospheric rivers. It's more of a thing on the Pacific, but it happens here in the tropics as well. The air from the equator is pushed up by the currents of the earth. And we have a good morning from Mike Seeley Sr. to Mitch. And Retired Rick says, Rick, I went to the doctor Thursday and I had all my blood work done. He called, said everything was great and normal except my cholesterol. 293. Said it should the other two are afraid of when I have a heart attack. Well, guess what? They told me I was going to have a heart attack by 55. They told me that when I was 28, 1996. I'm still waiting for the heart attack. And if anyone's seen me work, digging holes, moving things around, riding my bike, if I was going to have a heart attack, I think I would have had it by now. Plus, with the speed that I can talk, and the way that I can do things, I think in many ways, the chance of me getting a heart attack is probably less than a 25-year-old, or probably less now than it was when I was 28. Who knows? Then again, my cholesterol may be normal. So we have Bride's Biscuit saying good morning to Mitch. It's 63 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, sunny now. Calling for storm this afternoon. Yeah, that's probably true. My blood work has never been normal before carnivore. Well, retired Rick, before carnivore, you were on the duck food path to becoming a waddler and a quacker. Quack, 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 waddle, waddle, waddle. And that's not good. Now, some of the people that I know that turn themselves into waddlers and quackers, they're actually trying something different. Now, one of the customers I have, guess what he's on? He's on Wegovy. Well, I'm on Muscovy. Well, I haven't had Muscovy for a year, but I told him Muscovy would be better. But he's trying to use GLP-1s to lose weight. And I was like, oh, you're over 50. I believe something a little different. I don't believe that you should lose weight. I think what you should do is change your diet first, change your lifestyle, more meat, less stress, and then resistance training. If you spend all your time in front of a computer, you need to get off your rear end and you need to go outside, or just, if you're like the regular person, join the gym and start pushing the weights around. When you're over 50, your number one thing, in my opinion, should be strength. I mean, look, even Mitch, look at what Mitch was doing. Now, obviously, he did get that head injury because he got dehydrated or whatever happened, but he was in the gym working out. And I know that now that he's recovering little by little from the stroke, he will be doing the same thing again. If you're a person who is sedentary, you don't have to do any physical work, you need to say, you know what, I think, and this is just what I think, instead of worrying about losing weight, let's see if we can get stronger, and then if any weight loss happens, that's good. But in my opinion, a person who is a little overweight but strong is much more healthy than a person who is at ideal weight but weak. And if you're looking to attract the women, you're actually going to be more attractive if you are stronger than if you are weaker. That's my opinion. All right. Now, you could be a toothpick like me that has no muscle mass. I'm just skinny, but it's solid. And I can do all the work. I never get injured. I never have the aches and pains. And I think that's pretty good. Lots of flexibility. But again, I told him, I said, don't worry about it. What you need to do is ditch the duck food. I hate that term duck food. That's what he says. I said, look, if it comes from a seed, it's duck food. It's bird seed. It's cheap crap. You need to go out there, eat the meats. If you want to eat the plant material, be smart. Eat the whole fruit. Eat the low carbohydrate vegetables. Eat the stuff that you enjoy that doesn't bother you. But get rid of the energy bars and the protein shakes and all this nonsense. If it comes in a box or bag and it has an ingredients list, it's duck food. Don't eat it. If it's something that you could catch or pick, go for it. You want to go on a sugar binge? Go on mango season. I'll give you a bucket of mangoes. You can eat all those mangoes, load up, get your blood sugar over 300 or 400 for a few days. But then the mango season runs out and your body has to adapt. And that's the beauty of it. But anyway, if you're going to eat processed crap, you're going to eat garbage all the time, you're going to end up with problems. Wanting to put me on meds. I will work on that with my diet. I'm feeling healthier than ever before. And that's the other thing, what retired Rick said. If you're feeling good, does that mean that you're unhealthy? I don't think so. Now, if you're taking drugs and feeling good, that's not a good thing. But if you're not taking drugs and you feel good, I tend to believe it's a good thing. But again, I'm not a doctor, so don't sue me because you're wasting your time if you do. I got nothing. Thanks, Sandy. You wanted to put me on meds. I'm working. Okay, so that's what it was. You can walk your cute hunting dogs. There you go. Good morning, beautiful people from Venetian Cat. Milton and Miss Kitty. Yes, Miss Kitty was waiting for me. Next week, hopefully, I will be able to take Miss Kitty to the Cat Network van because that's the appointment I had, and see if they can fix her or do whatever it takes. Hopefully she doesn't have a load of kittens, but what are you going to do? Hi, Mitch from Amy. Yes, Sandy, I'll probably go for another walk today if it stops raining. Well, if you're in Florida, you don't have to worry about rain until May. And we have a hello from Peter to Mitch. Spent the night to tornado sirens and torrential downpours. Even over there, huh? In Missouri. That's weird. Thanks for all the good mornings. I'll be lurking in the background, but I have a lot of editing to do. And I'm sure that Mitch will be releasing a video today, so look for that. Usually it comes out during my live, but I have a feeling that I will be at the ham radio flea market. So, and I'm going to take my mobile device, if I can get some Wi-Fi. Oh, see, I dropped my mouse. And I'll see if I can give you a little sneak peek of what's going on. And my mouse is all tangled up because Milton decided that the mouse is a cat toy. He loves the mouse. But again, he is a cat, so cats love rodents, even the electronic ones. All right, and Coach Angela Mullen says, good morning, Rick, and good morning. And again, lots of people here that are coaches that can help you, and Angela Mullins is a great person. I always appreciate the regular viewing and participation, and that's really good. Check my doctor records. My heaviest weight was 273 back in 2013. This morning I weighed 195. It's coming off slow, but coming off. Well, there you go. Now, you and I weigh exactly the same. I weighed myself a couple days ago. I was 195. I range between 195 and 200, although I have been as low as 190. And lately, I got a little bit low because I was trying to compromise, but thankfully, I had a little dumpster haul, so I had a lot of meat. I had a friend of mine give me some fish, so I got that. I have not been eating much beef. It's way too expensive, but I have been eating more chicken, fish, and pork's been really cheap. So I've eaten a lot of pork, and I may have to start eating sauerkraut again because I'm eating so much pork. If I don't eat the sauerkraut, my energy level is going to... But for now, we're good. Eggs were on sale for 99 cents a dozen, so I loaded my refrigerator. I bought 15 or 16 dozen eggs. No, 20. I bought $20 worth of eggs. So when the eggs were 99 cents, I bought 20 dozen eggs. So we have lots of eggs, and I've gone back to 6 eggs a day. I had gone down to 3, then it was 4. I'm back to 6. So we're eating lots of eggs again. So I've had to up the eggs, down the beef, and the only steaks I had are the ones that Dr. Kiltz had given me when we went to the get-together. But those are gone. But I did enjoy all the meats. And in fact, if I have time, I think there's a weekend sale. I got the sale papers over there. But today's going to be one busy day because I have my live. Then I'm going to hit swap meet. And I'll go back to the church sale. If those hubcaps are still there, I'll make a deal. If I could get the whole box for $15, I'd take them. But you know me, I'm very cheap, and I'm not going to buy something. I say if somebody else wants it, they're willing to pay for it, then that means they're not going to throw it away. If it's going to get thrown away, then I'm the one that's going to get it. That's how I end up with so much junk. All right, so, Strange Animal Jiffy. Good morning, Rick, Milton, and all. Well, good morning, and although Milton is probably asleep, I'm sure he can hear me say, good morning, Milton. All right. Kind of use it every March through June. Okay. And Steadfast 420. Good morning, Mitch. Michigan and Ohio got a bunch of tornadoes yesterday. Yes, that's what I figured. Let's see. Angela Mullins. Way to go, retired. Rick. Thanks, Julian and Amy. And as only Rick can do. Oh, wait a minute. I may have missed a few. Oh, no, Juliet, how stressful. Okay. Maybe the rain will wash away some of those HTL numbers. Rain won't hurt you. 1 and 8 are on GLP in USA. Wow. 1 and 8? Well, maybe that's why my friend, well, my customer, we're kind of friends, is on GLP-1. What do they call that again? I call it Muscovy. It's Wegovy or something like that. I'd say Muscovy. You know, you should go on Muscovy. Muscovy will help you lose weight because not only do you have to chase a duck, but you have to catch the duck, fatten it up, put it in the guillotine. Then you got to strip it. You got to put it in boiling water, pull the feathers off. So, but I don't know. It's really funny that you'd have to make a drug that would cause you to lose weight. And Carnivore Farm Mom says, good morning, everyone. Are you enjoying your day, T? Okay. So far, it's a good day, but it's always a good day on Saturday because I get to have my Live at 8 with Rick, and my special guest has just arrived. Hey, Milton. Come here, baby. Oh, look, it's stuff Milton. No, No, no. Be nice. There we go. Here comes a gorgeous. I love my little Milton. You're cute. I love you so much. Here you go. There's my Milton. Oh, good sweetie. Look at those teeth. Hey, Milty. Look at that face. Milton. Look at Milton. Look at those teeth. Milton. All right, Milton. Are you a good kitty? Or do I have to use the spray on you? I have the spray just in case. Oh, there goes Milton. Here we go. Yeah, Milton's like, nope, I don't want to get sprayed with window cleaner. All right, so let me hit these comments before they get away from me. And we have a hello to Cass. And we have Brian Dish. All right, so Cass is very popular. And Louis Latito. It's funny. Milton came in, and then Louis dropped in. So as you can see, Milton said hello. And my coffee is tasting good this morning. Well, Rick, I'm glad that it is. And we know that coffee has been a controversy, but our friend Mitch is going to fix that. Let me switch this. Okay. Now, all right. That thing always gets out of focus when I get it too close. But anyway, yeah, Mitch, I'm sure the next video he'll be doing is the one about coffee. And as you know, I'm one of the very few people in the carnivore community that hates coffee. I won't drink it. I don't see any benefit to it. However, my mother and father both enjoyed coffee. My dad was Cuban. And you know Cubans, they love their cafecito. A cafecito is sort of a staple. You start your day with un cafecito, and then maybe after lunch, because in Latin American countries, I think some of those people are smarter than us. Instead of working hard, remember, the U.S., we're from Northern European, from temperate climates where it's not hot and miserable. In Latin American countries, a lot of times they have like a break. So what they'll do, they'll start work early, they'll work to around lunchtime. And then after lunchtime is siesta time. They're going to take a break. And my dad told me in Cuba, they did that all the time. But after they had their break, one of the things that they would do is have their coffee. They have these little tiny cups with this concentrated espresso. They make it in this aluminum mocha pot, which using aluminum doesn't sound like a good idea, but they do it. And so every time you see them, they got their little pot on the stove and they're making their coffee. It's basically a percolator, but it's super strong. And, but then my dad stopped drinking coffee because he believed that coffee was unhealthy. And I think if my dad would have continued to drink coffee, I think he would have been a healthier person, especially when he got to be tired all the time, felt weak and got anemic. I think the coffee, that would have been that. He used to call it rocket fuel. So my mom, she liked the traditional American style coffee. Coffee that has the sweetener, the creamer and all that. Of course, when I moved in here, Mom was using instant coffee and that non-dairy creamer. I was like, oh. But she wanted that. But as she got a little older and wasn't able to do the coffee herself, I started making her coffee. But Rick with his caveman thinking, it's like, I can make this coffee thing better. So what I started doing, instead of buying instant coffee, I drug out the old coffee grinder, which we still had buried in there from my dad's days, and I still have the thing. You screw the top on, has a lid, you put the coffee seeds in there and grind it up. Then the trick was, where do I get the good coffee seeds? So they sold it. We used to go to a place called Wild Oats Market, which became Whole Foods. Of course, now it's owned by Amazon, so it's crap. But we would get it from there. And then there's a place in the Northwest where they make Cafe Bustelo. And they used to buy this stuff wholesale. So I found a way. I had a friend that was actually working there as a tech. And he said, when we get our shipment of coffee beans, I can get you some. Now, they couldn't sell it to me officially, but somehow he got it for me. So I don't know. So I'd get a little container of coffee beans, and they roast them right there in the Northwest. You go on 58th Street, you can smell the beans roasting to this day. So they were good, and I learned how to grind it. And so the beans came in unprocessed. I had to roast them. I roasted them in the oven. I ground them and then brewed them. And I started using Well, we had the old-fashioned, like, bun coffee machine, but then also I got this little thing from a yard sale called the Starbucks coffee machine, which I have somewhere in storage. And you make an espresso out of that. And then I would make the espresso and then put the cream. Now, Mom used to use non-dairy crap. That went out the window. I started using real cream. And then I took it to the next level because I thought, you know what? I'd like to know how this coffee thing comes into being. So I got a hold of Cafe Arabica seeds that were not roasted. And I planted them, and I got coffee bushes growing in my own yard. Now, my yard has big trees. Coffee likes to grow in shade. So I had numerous coffee plants. They've pretty much died out because the ducks ate them, but that's a long story. But I was able to grow coffee right here in Miami. And I took the coffee beans that I got from my friend, and I also took fresh coffee, and I put them together, and I roasted them. Hey, Milton. Look at that cute little Milton. He's back. The little monster has returned. Don't you even think about attacking me because I got the window spray. He's like, okay, you want to attack me? I don't want to see you attacking me on camera. I will spray you. So cute. Come on, Milton. Oh, you're a sweetie. I love that cat. But yeah, so I ended up growing some of my own coffee and mixed it with the other. And while I was taking care of my mom, Mom got fresh coffee along with cream. I even got Mom to start eating bacon. My mom, her health was doing pretty bad while my dad was still alive. She was in the hospital every year. And 2013 was the last time she went to the hospital. And I do believe that making modifications to her diet, getting her to eat a little more meat without knowing it, because she hated beef, and also the fresh coffee, the cream. I got Mom to eat bacon. I got Mom to eat scrambled eggs. I stopped using that stupid non-stick crap that she used, and the non-stick pan, that went in the scrapper. I started using cast iron with lard and beef tallow, and I think I got another 5 years out of my mom's life. If Mom would have been carnivore, she might still be here. Well, maybe not, because Mom would be 96 right now, which is extremely unlikely. Her father lived to 94. But then again, I mean, Mom did live to 90, and she had cancer twice. I think if Mom would have been carnivore, she would have had at least a better life. Longer one, maybe not, but definitely better. Mom would not have been pretty much homebound for 15 years. She would have been out and about having fun. She'd be like the Maggie lady on the ranch. Hey, Milton. No, Milton, no. Don't eat the mic cord. No. Milton. What? Meow? Don't even think about it. Milton, get over here. Milton, come on. Milton, what are you doing? You're a silly... No. Ow, Milton. Ow, ow. Watch the paws. I'm going to get you. Okay. Sorry about the Milton distraction. But anyway, so we have... Ow. Milton is attacking. Look at... You got to see this. Milton. Milton. A black menace. Look at that black menace. You are a black menace. Ow, Milton. Okay, Milton. Ouch. Ow, watch the claws. Milton. Oh, what a menace. Milton is attacking my feet. Okay, Milton. Ouch. Okay, that's it. Okay. We got Milton under control. Don't even think about it. Here. Play with the cat toy. He doesn't want to play with the cat toy. He wants to play with my feet. Play with the cat toy. There we go. All right. And Lewis says he just finished trapping cats. We got 7 today. Wow. Oh, my goodness. You got a cat problem. You got to get him all fixed? Milton, stop. Ouch. Milton. Wow, what a menace. Okay. Rick Jerry had said to say, ow, will you stop it, Milton? Milton, what are you doing? You're a bad pussycat. Bad, Milton. Bad. What do I have to deal with? That crazy animal. I need to put a Milton camera. Okay, we're going to get you with spray. There we go. Okay. Goodbye. I might have to lock you in the kitchen. Oh, my goodness. That Milton is a menace. Ow, Milton. Milton, will you stop that? Come on, Milton. Stop it. Oh, no wonder some people don't want to have a pet. This cat is wild. That's what happens when you feed your cat raw meat. If I wanted... Oh, Milton, stop it. Milton. Bad Milton. No. Don't even think about it, Milton. What a menace. That is so awesome. Hi, Milty. Wow. How do you... Ow, Milton, no. Milton. Milton, you are vicious. I can feel your teeth through the leather boots. Will you stop that? Milton. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's see. First shift, nice. Retired Rick, how do you take your coffee? Ah, two crazy ketos is here. Well, hello, Joe or Rachel. Milton, oh my goodness. Milton is wound up. He eats, I think what he wants more meat. Milton, did you eat all that meat? Look at that. Milton. Milton, you got to stop that. Milton. Oh my goodness. I found something else that works as a repellent for Milton. Toothpaste. I was able to get this out of a clean out. You simply, oh, it smells terrible, but you put this in Milton's face. Look at this cat. He keeps ambushing me. Milton! Oh, you knocked all that down? What is wrong with you? Milton? Wow. Okay. So, Cuban coffee, yes. Good old Cuban coffee. And Annabella says, hi to Rick and Milton. Well, I say hi, and Milton would say hi, but he's too busy tearing me apart. Let's see. I like it black. Mostly sometimes I put HC in it, but grind my beans every day. That's like Mitch says, something grinds his beans. Hi, everyone, from Annabella. The coffee is in a little shot glass. Yes. Well, they usually have these little plastic cups, but that's the Cuban coffee, or as they call it, cafecito. Cafecito is a big deal here. You go to any one of these cafeterias, and they will have cafecito. And we have hi, Amy, and agree. All right. Yes, I love it. Coffee shot. That's what they are. Or my dad calls it Cuban rocket fuel. Coffee is bad for your liver, according to my acupuncturist. He's happy with me doing carnivore. Well, some people like coffee. Some people hate coffee. I don't like the taste of it. I don't drink it. But I'm not going to tell people not to, because I know too many people that they lived a long time drinking coffee, and I know people that do better with coffee than without. Just like I know some people that can't be carnivore. They need some vegetables. It's like my ex-vegan friend. He's got to have his veggies, or he's not happy. Okay, heading to bed. You have got to see this crazy cat. Milton? He keeps ambushing me. This cat is nuts. Watch this. Watch this crazy cat. All right. I'll put this right here. He's not only torn the place apart, it's always a mess anyway. Here he comes. Look at that cat. He's a wild animal. He doesn't like being on camera, though, I don't think. So we have a hello, sweetheart. All right. Hi, Rick and everyone. From Bacon Runner. Yes. Good day to you. Look, there's Milton. Milton, you don't have fleas. Don't you even think about attacking my hand. I will spray you with the window cleaner. All right, we have night. Hopefully Milton will burn off some of that energy, because he will not. Oh, first live stream. Okay. How did I miss that? Sweet Dreams Spanky. I don't see him for acupuncture. You know what I noticed? When the camera's on him, he doesn't attack as much. Maybe that's the secret. I need to get another camera and have a Milton cam. That's what I need. Just mount it on the tripod, which he knocked over, and have a Milton cam, because Milton is a black menace, and he does not like cameras. I missed your live. Yes, I did too. I'd love to hear what results you have. I'm guessing a lot of body pain relief. All right. I was a nervous wreck and sound like a crazy person, but I'll be better next time. There you go. That's not a problem. You're just an excited version doing something new. Do people still use ham radios? Yes, they do. There are still ham radio people out there. In fact, if I turn on my radio, now I don't have a call sign or I'm not into ham anymore, but if I do turn it on, you can still hear there's activity. All right. Yeah. It's not illegal to own a ham radio. You just can't transmit unless you're licensed, but you can listen to it. I have a handheld also, but it is active. It's mostly Spanish, though. It's cool that you grew your own coffee. Yes, I always like to get to the source because I tell people if it's not something you can do yourself, I don't think that you should be doing it. That's just my opinion. For what that's worth, I don't know. All right, so CB Carmack says, good morning. Okay, there we go. We got some humor going on here. I drink tea, too, and I use herbal medicinal blends when I get sick. All right, now let me see. Why did this thing skip all these comments? What is going on here? All right. Watch your replay. Okay. Yeah, the more lives you do, the better you get. That's correct. It was a wind talker. He had a ham radio tower in our backyard and we bought it. Well, that's good. The wind talker, that's natives that were with the government. I think they were using their language as a secret code in World War II. And carnivore is a lifesaver. It can be. My grandmother's 98. Well, there you go. I wonder how long my mom would have lived. Still got a mobile ham radio. I use it for hunting with my buddies, but I don't have a base station anymore. I do all that I can. Yeah, I do that online now, right? And Milton attacks when hungry. I gave him a bunch of meat. I don't know why he'd be hungry. And once I pointed the camera at him, he seems to have disappeared. But he's waiting. He's going to wait until I'm not watching and then attack. But Milton doesn't realize that I am very fast. I'll bet next time, blown away that anyone showed up with no prior notice. It happens. That's a bad kitty. Well, Milton is a lively little thing. And I have to admit, I like cats that are active like that because, number one, they kill rodents. A cat like that will attack anything that moves. If I ever get any unwanted guests in here, he will attack. But the bad thing is, when he gets scared, he turns totally wild. So you have to be very, very aware of him. And don't step on his paws because he will attack. Peter, are you a ham radio guy? I don't think so. Cannot type. What fun. Okay. Just sad that I missed most of the comments and have no way to read them now. Oh, it didn't store your comments? That's weird. But my dad had a mobile one in his car. Okay, you're talking about ham radio with the big waving antenna. Yes. Neighbor grew up in the house next to him. Okay. We had holes in our bedroom where the ham radio hooked in. Okay. Hello, Senor Rick. Well, hello. It's Dan. He had a live this morning, which I was watching, although I had to catch some of it on the Wi-Fi when I went to the yard sale. Why is Milton being naughty tonight? Did he get his troll puffs? No, that's just Milton. Milton is a wildcat. The thing is that he's not aggressive to me. He's not howling. He's not going for blood. He's just playful. So he's a very playful cat. He's still, what is he, a year and a half old? He's still young. When he gets older, he'll be like every other cat, nice and calm. But for now, he's a wild one. And I kind of like it. I mean, it is a little inconvenient, but it keeps me on my toes. Cats are very fast, so. And when he grabs me when I'm walking, he doesn't claw me. He just grabs my leg. He's good about that. But here, I guess he realizes the shoe is not my actual foot. When I'm barefoot, he doesn't do that. So I think he's just being playful. He's a sweetie, though. I love that cat. Yes. Hello to Dan. When you watch replay, just turn on live comments on your phone. Well, that's assuming that it saved it because sometimes it doesn't. But it doesn't matter. If YouTube doesn't save mine, I can watch the video. I address every single comment. And I think I might be the only one out there that does that, where you type comments. Where do I go to turn on live chat? That's in the YouTube settings. I can probably show you, but I feed my cats raw meat too. My 17-year-old calico, and here comes Milton again. Look at this. If I hold the camera here, maybe he won't come as much. Oh, there he is. There's the predator going in for the kill. He'll do this over and over again. I go through this all the time. It's just funny. Comment swipe left. It works on my iPhone that way. Okay. All right. And Bryce Biscuit saying good morning to everyone. I'm going to see if I can do that now about the phone. All right. My kitten is always laying in wait for me. See? That's the way cats are. And when they eat the carnivore diet, it really seems to accelerate it, I think. Well, so far, if I point the camera at him, he doesn't do that. That's kind of weird. This cat must be a lot more intelligent than I realize. Dr. Anthony is against coffee. He's had patients have seizures after it. I drink tea myself. And again, it varies from person to person. I know several people that enjoy coffee and do well on it. I don't like coffee. I won't drink it, and I won't recommend it to anyone. But it's like cigars. Some people love cigars. I can't stand them. But if you like them and it's not causing you any immediate problems, now if you're having seizures, you got to avoid it. You don't drink coffee when you have seizures. But what happens if you drink coffee and it makes you feel good? You got lots of energy. You enjoy your coffee. You like the smell of coffee. You like the whole ritual of making the coffee, where you're grinding the beans or however you do it. Some people just use little coffee pods. But most people that I know that love coffee, they love the smell of coffee. They love the coffee experience. So if you like it, why not? Because no matter whether you drink coffee or don't drink coffee, you're still going to end up dead. So if you feel good doing it, why not? That's what I say. But yeah, maybe it's true. But I know Dr. Anthony Chaffee, is against anything from a plant because he does believe that plants are trying to kill you. And I believe for some people, he's right, because some people can't. It's like me. If I try to eat most plant material, it will destroy me. I'll have digestive issues, gas. And then the worst part about a lot of plant material is that it messes up my energy levels. When I went plant-based back in 93, getting up in the morning was a struggle. I had to force myself to get out of bed. Trying to get anything done was a struggle. My mind just didn't work. If I had something to do, I had to wait till the last minute until I had absolutely no choice but to do the work. Now it's different. I take on challenges with enthusiasm. I enjoy it. And I don't get upset when things go wrong very much. I mean, everybody gets upset, but it's okay. I only quit? Yeah, because I had to use so much heavy cream to enjoy it. That's like my mom. She needed that. Milton needs a playmate like Calico Cat. That did not work out well. Last week, she came in. She will not come in the house now. I opened the door. I try to lure her in with food, and she's like, nope, I'm not going in there, because Milton just went totally wild. He wasn't aggressive. He just started running around, and she got scared. She saw that very fast, very powerful black menace running around. She got terrified and took off. Aaron told me to swipe. Okay. There we go. All right. Want to get my ham license? Yeah, you should. You should. I need to get back into the ham hobby myself, but where I live, I can't really put up an antenna. It's not a good spot. I got too many trees, and county's a hassle. But when I move to the country, I'll be back. I'll have my own little Radio Shack. I might even combine my YouTube studio with the Radio Shack. That would be kind of a nice thing. So it'll be like YouTube. I might even put some of it on the ham, but we'll see. We might have people call in through ham, through phone, through internet, whatever. And the great thing about ham radio is that in a grid down situation, in an internet cyber attack situation, ham radio will still work. After an EMP, a good ham operator will have his radio up and running, especially if you're running vintage equipment that's vacuum tube based. No EMP can take that down. And if your ham equipment did get damaged, I know people that are in the ham hobby, they actually have little safes set up as a Faraday cage, and they will keep radio equipment in storage. They keep their antenna unplugged when they're not using it. If you were to get an EMP and knock out all communications, the hams would be the first ones to be up and running. Of course, the military, they have plenty of equipment. They can do it too, but the government doesn't care about us. They only care about themselves. So if you want to have communication, you have to do it on your own. Okay. Get flu. Okay. Milton is practicing. Yes, he is. We love Milton. We all love Milton. I asked Google if a whole low-fat, high-carb diet was the healthiest, and it said no. It said the low-fat, high-carb diet was a 50 years experiment based on shoddy studies that failed us. Well, that's interesting. So it doesn't know what it wants. And Annabella loves the smell of coffee. Tornado took out my ham antenna out a few years ago. Never put it back up. That's it. Is a ham radio only made out of ham? Because a bacon radio would be like crack cocaine, just being silly. Yeah, that's very true. All right, so let's see. I keep forgetting you're on Saturday mornings. Well, Sean, 1977, I'm glad that you're able to remember. And yes, Saturday morning at 8, although today we're going to shorten it. We'll probably be off by 9:30. So I'm going to take the example of my friend Mitch and Dr. Kiltz. And I'm being attacked again by a very, very fast, who just ran away, black menace named Milton. Milton, I think Milton is hungry. That's got to be what it is. I'm gonna let him do his thing because I'll be ending the live stream early, and then I will give Milton some food. So Milton can get that out of his system, then he can eat his raw meat, and then he can go sleep on the bed while I'm over at the ham radio flea market. So new food guidelines have changed AI's opinion. Okay, it is said. I bought a heap of lamb yesterday. Nice. AI now supports, encourages a high-fat, low-carb, or zero-carb. Well, that's interesting. Poor Miss Kitty needs a home. Well, Miss Kitty doesn't want to come. Milton? Look at Milton. Ow, Milton. You're a bad Milton. Bad Milton. You really want food, don't you? I may have to take a break and give Milton some food. This is ridiculous. All right. Hello? Tornado took my ham antenna. Okay, so I've gotten back to this. This thing's skipping all over the place. Hope you're well. And I have asked him, you ever heard of Dr. Ken Berry? He said, no, stop listening to the doctors on YouTube and listen to the AHA guidelines. Or the ABS guidelines. All right, now that I've caught up with the comments, let me get Milton. Milton. All right, you're a bird. What? Come here, Milton. Look at those teeth. Look at that vicious, wild, dangerous Milton. Look at those vicious teeth. Look at those claws. Milton. Milton. Aw, he's so cute. I love my little Milton. Look at how cute little Milton is. He's ready to bite. Okay, let me give you some food. Come on, Milton. Let's go. Come on. Want some raw meat? Come here. Oh. Milton. Come on. Milton. Where's Milton? Wow, you're fast. Milton. That's much better. You are a bad pussycat. Wow. Okay. That was worth it. It's so funny. When I went to the refrigerator to get the meat, as soon as I opened the door, Milton was up on his back feet, and he tried to grab the meat out of my hands. It's pretty amazing. Up. Now, why are you back here, Milton? I gave you a bunch of raw meat. Now you're over here. And I've already fed him. It's because he needs to pay off his college loans. Oh, I had a black cat. She was such a sweetheart. Yes, but this one is not a sweetheart. And he's returned to torture me again. What are you doing, Milton? Okay, Milton, time to spray the kitty. All right, go eat your meat. Linda Flanagan, hello, Rick and everyone. Well, hello. So what's everyone's weekend plans? Well, as soon as I finish my live stream, I'm going to hit the flea market, the swap meet, or whatever you want to call it, and then I'll go back to the church sale, and after I'm done with that, I'm going to work on my truck again, and hopefully I won't have any distractions. I've had several distractions during the week, little side jobs. So, and a couple of the jobs were unpaid. My friend, the car was making a noise, and I had to go and figure that out. It was the belt. So he says, is it a critical thing? I said, no, the belt isn't cracked. It can go for a little bit longer. You'll be fine. So Carnivore Farm Mom will be doing laundry. I mentioned something like that, and he said, I don't make money on handing out prescriptions. Okay. I think it must be the doctor. Milton wants breakfast. Well, he's had breakfast. He's a hungry boy. Yes. Milton has attacked Rick on his weekend things to do. Yes, he does. Milton is a little black menace, but that's okay. I know Milton. You know, a friend of mine is like, you got to get rid of that cat. I'm like, I ain't getting rid of Milton. He's a nice cat. He sleeps all night in the bed, doesn't bother me. It's just during the day, he's a cat. He wants to be active. And he's been cooped up. I haven't let him out because of the problems he's had. But I think he's almost to the point where I can let him outside under supervision. But I don't want him getting into fights. And hopefully now that he's fixed, he won't be as aggressive. Like my doctor, it's what he was taught in doctor school, I guess. Well, there you go. Making brisket for my evening OMAD. Well, that's awesome. That's a good meat source. Get the towel. Yes, I got the towel right here from Milton in case he becomes a problem. And then I will place him in the bathroom and shut the door and let him cool off. But I don't want to go do that because that's not nice. You know, he'll be all right. I know how to handle Milton. I'm very familiar with him. Hater's going to hate. Cat's going to cat. Yes, I agree with that. Okay, so anyway, let's talk a little bit about some of the current events. Has everyone seen that McDonald's CEO sort of video? It's all over the internet. It's like gone viral. They made some kind of burger. They called it the Big Arch Burger. And then the guy calls it a product and he goes to eat it. And it just doesn't look good. So we all know that these CEOs tend to be out of touch. And McDonald's really isn't a food company. They're a real estate business. And it's up to the franchisees to make the duck food. But Milton, what are you doing? Keep your paws off of that cord. My goodness. All right. Anyway, so let me get back to the comments here. All right. Okay. Yeah. Monster Truck Show. Oh, they still have that vendor stand at the venue. Nice. I got a big old bone-in pork butt. There is pork butt on sale. And I believe I have the sale papers in this pile of papers somewhere, which is a complete mess. Got some stuff from my customers, invoices, you know, it's just whatever. Okay, we have the sale papers, and I think this might be the old one. They had T-bone steak, $5.98 a pound. Let me see here. This is okay. This is old. Yeah, this is old. Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, so this is garbage. I think this is the latest one. And nope, I think this is another older one. This was only to March 3rd, so this is old too. I need to get rid of some of this stuff. All right, somebody had, it might be Sedano's. Let me see. Sedano's. Hold on. I do not see it. This is Valentine. Why do I have all this old stuff here? Oh well, screw it. I know somebody had pork for 99 cents a pound. I'll get some more of it. Just put it over there. Generally, the way I cook meat is in a pot. I don't roast the pork. I don't barbecue it. It's usually cooked in a pot. And then that way, any of the water that's left over, I can use. There's collagen in that to make a soup. I cook the bones as well. And then I also basically let it in the refrigerator. I skim the lard off of the top of it for cooking. So the pork butt or pork shoulder or whatever I get, I want to get the fattiest one possible. I cut the skin off. I cut it in strips. I deep fry that in lard to make pork rinds. And those pork rinds can be eaten on their own, or they can be blended up and they can be mixed with eggs and cheese to make buns for the very famous or infamous Rick's Heart Attack Burger. Now, Rick's Heart Attack Burger versus the McDonald's burger, that's a joke. If you know the story of Rick's Heart Attack Burger, it was sort of a protest to the McDonald's double quarter pounder. Now, everybody knows what a double quarter pounder is. So I said, I'm going to make a double quarter pounder. And how did that work? Well, double quarter pounder means half pound. So we start with 2 half-pound patties, and then we double that. So it's going to be 4 half-pound patties. So it's a double quarter pounder. That was the whole idea. Because quarter pound is a joke. That's just like a little skinny little thing. That's not even enough meat for an hors d'oeuvre. But a half pounder, and it's got to be the fattiest meat that you can imagine. And if the burger's not fatty enough, you can add some more fat. You can add lard or whatever it takes. And the buns, whole wheat buns? No. White bread? No. We got to up that. So instead of having just regular buns with sesame seeds, we get eggs, pork rinds, because, pork rinds were the ultimate unhealthy food. Everyone used to tell us that's what the Southerners eat. That's why they're so fat. They eat pork rinds, and they're all uneducated. They have no teeth. Their teeth are missing, So I figured pork rinds, eggs, and cheese. How can you make a more unhealthy bun? And that's how Rick's Heart Attack Burger was born. Rick's Heart Attack Burger was first made in 1986 when I was starting college. It had to be the winter time. I remember it was cool weather. So my first year of college, at the end of 86, was a Heart Attack Burger, which means since this is 2026, at the end of this year, Rick's Heart Attack Burger is going to be 40 years old. That's pretty amazing. Now, I didn't start eating iguanas until the early 2000s. It might have been 2002, 2003, so that's a lot newer. But the Heart Attack Burger has been around a long time, and Heart Attack Chicken also from about the same time. The first time I fried chicken, we used some kind of oil. It was peanut oil or whatever, but it wasn't great. I tried using coconut oil. That didn't work. But then when I discovered lard, that was it. So the first time I made fried chicken was sometime when I was in college. So it had to be also in 86. So Rick's Heart Attack Chicken and Rick's Heart Attack Burger are basically between 39 and 40 years old. And for a period of time, I was eating one Heart Attack Burger every other day. So think about it. I would have typically Monday. Well, when I was with my parents, we would eat out Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday. And then the other days when we didn't eat out, because we always went to the buffet, I would eat a Heart Attack Burger for lunch. So if we went to the Chinese Food Garden or China Buffet or, the China Apple Buffet or whatever it was called, we'd hit the Chinese buffet. And then when they were open, sometimes on a Saturday, we'd go to Duff's or Stacy's Buffet. And I would hit the buffet, always hit the beef, the chicken, whatever meat I could find, fish, shrimp, whatever. Golden Corral was another one. Starting around 98, we would go to Golden Corral. And again, we always ate a buffet. I do not like sit-down restaurants where you order. I don't like ordering food. I hate menus. If a restaurant has a menu, I don't want to be there. This is one of the reasons why I've actually begun to like the Brazilian Steakhouse, because there is no menu. You go in there, you pay, or if you're broke like me, you have your friends pay for you, which that's going to change one day when I'm not broke. I'm going to have my own get-together. I'm going to invite everyone to my home, wherever I'm living. We're going to have a massive cookout. I'm going to do what Dr. Kiltz did, but I'm going to do it Rick style. So it's going to be very similar. We'll have indoor-outdoor seating. I'm going to buy an entire animal, and I'll have also maybe a little extras. So what we'll have like a duck catch and cook, maybe an iguana catch and cook. I'll try to have my own population of both, and then you can come on down and enjoy the experience. Because not only we get some good food to eat, you can run around. You can even have maybe, I don't know, we'll find stuff to do. And if I do have enough room, I still have them. I have my pin setters. I'll set up my bowling lanes. We can have a bowling party at my place. That would be good. Not even the fanciest get-togethers have a bowling party. So I'll get my AMF pin spotters or my Brunswick pin setters. We'll set them up, and we'll have ourselves a bowling party on 2 lanes at Rick's place. It'll be amazing. All right, so let's see. We got a lot of comments again. All right, we have, oh boy. I saw that guy. He's pretty weird, the McDonald CEO thing. Most of these CEOs are out of touch. All they know how to do is take advantage of people. And when they try to seem familiar, they just look creepy. I've seen the McDonald's on YouTube. Yes, I was going to make a video on that, but I haven't done it yet. I've been way too busy, but I'm going to try it because it really was interesting. The thing just kind of blew up. And then Burger King, they made a response. And I don't know if it was Wendy's or one of those other duck food restaurants did that. No seasoning except salt. And I don't even use salt much myself. I doubt he eats much McDonald's food. That was what everybody was saying. Now, if it was Rick's Heart Attack restaurant, now I can't call it Heart Attack because you got the Heart Attack Grill, but I'd call it, I don't know, Rick's Diner or the Iguana Diner or the Muscovy Duck or something like that. Now, there used to be a place here called the Moonlight Diner or something, and they closed it, and they painted over it. They made it like crap. Now they call it the Latin House. Piece of garbage. But I would make something like a 50s diner with the roof sticking up, the big windows, tropical plants all over the place, rocks, and of course, you know, the famous Rick ceiling tiles, the light fixtures. It'd be just like stepping into 1958. And you could go there and you could order all the classic favorites. You could have your steak and eggs, bacon and eggs, or bacon steak and eggs. You could have Heart Attack burgers. You could have either the Heart Attack Junior, which has 2 patties, like the Whopper Junior, or the Heart Attack Senior. Or you could have a double Heart Attack, like they have at the Heart Attack Grill, where they have 8 patties. They call it the Octuple Bypass Burger. But unlike Heart Attack Grill, American cheese is forbidden. That garbage would never be in my restaurant. You could have your choice of cheeses. You could have mozzarella, provolone, Gouda, cheddar, Swiss, whatever you want. It's right there. It'll be in a block. We'll just cut it off, put it on the burgers, and you could have your burger without cheese. You could have your burger with or without bacon. All the different things. And of course, for the very high-end menu, you could enjoy a Muscovy duck burger. Yes, made from pure Muscovy duck with a little beef tallow added for extra fat. Okay, let's see. So, picture Denny's in the 1950s. What are you going to tell us about the Big Arch Burger? I think the Big Arch Burger is a bunch of nonsense. So let me go ahead. I'm going to do a Google search about the Big Arch Burger. And I got the wrong keyboard because Milton switched. So we'll go ahead and switch this. Let's see. Big Arch Burger. Oh. All right, let me switch the display. And McDonald's Big Arch Burger is a large premium limited time offering featuring 2 quarter-pound beef patties, 3 slices of white cheddar, crispy slivered onions, pickles, lettuce, and a tangy Big Arch sauce on a toasted sesame poppy seed bun. Oh, they're giving a little opium with it. It boasts 1,020 calories, positioning as a substantial high-fat option designed for maximum satiety. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so, and we have a burger place near here, but that's not McDiarrhea. So we'll just go over here to the McDonald's website, And we will check this out. Let me get rid of this. Okay. And there is the burger. Now, that's not what the burger looked like when the McDonald's CEO was trying to eat it. You know that that's been doctored up. But actually, that is not a bad-looking burger. Of course, you know the real one's not going to look like that. But it's got all the plant crap in there. First of all, to make it Rick style, you ditch the buns, and you make Rick's heart attack buns. And then the cheese is okay. The patties are okay. But why put all this plant material in there? Leave that for the ducks in the mulch pile and replace that with bacon. Because who wants lettuce in a burger? And onions? That's optional. If you like onions, make sure you deep fry them in beef tallow first. And mustard is okay, but we don't do sauce. Real food doesn't need a sauce. And you will never find any sauce in my refrigerator or in any of my events. Now, you will find mustard in the refrigerator because I don't react badly to mustard. But there's no ketchup. Ketchup is not good for me. But anyway, that's a Big Arch burger. I don't know what it costs. It's probably way too much. Quarter pound, 100% beef patty. They probably want $10 for the stupid thing. But you can make a heart attack burger so much better. And it's supposed to have 1,000 or so calories. Then you have Rick's heart attack burger. Now, we're talking serious burger. We're not talking about that wimpy burger. Oh, no. Why do I always get recommendations for this disgusting idiot? Headline, vegans have higher cancer now. Let's check the science. I don't want to watch this. If you want to watch the vegan crap, that's fine. Calories dead. I get all these recommendations. Whatever. Dr. Ben Bickman, sugar addict, and ED. ED. Okay. Yeah, we know how people don't like ED, otherwise known as erectile dysfunction. But anyway, the heart attack, the Big Arch burger, is sort of like, I don't know, heart attack baby or whatever, but it's not that great. But if you want a real burger, and I mean a real burger, let's say you want to eat a standard fast food burger, how about going to the Heart Attack Grill and getting yourself a quadruple bypass burger? So let me go over here and let me do Heart Attack Grill. I guess Milton ate his food and fell asleep, so that's good. And I got the wrong keyboard again. Ah. Okay, Heart Attack Grill. Let's hit that. Now, how many calories, bunch of nonsense, do you have on the Heart Attack burger? There's a Heart Attack Grill. Where's the menu? Okay, no menu? What is this? Heart Attack Grill. Okay. Here it is. That's the Heart Attack Grill quadruple bypass burger. Now, if you'll notice, the Heart Attack Grill's burger is inferior to Rick's Heart Attack burger. First of all, there is bacon, yes, but look at what else is there. You got some kind of, I guess that's lard, which is okay. Bacon's good. This is that garbage cheese, the American cheese, which is inedible crap. It tastes awful. I've hated it since I was a kid. And what do you see here? You see a tomato. You see some red onions. You don't need that in a burger. So what I do, ditch the tomato and give that to the ducks. Throw the onions away. Replace the American cheese with the good quality cheese of your choice. If it comes in plastic, don't use it. Add more bacon and make sure your patties are fat. And this bread, no. We don't do that. That's garbage. We replace that with Rick's Heart Attack buns. And now you have a great burger. Now, this has got to have at least, 4,000 calories? Who knows? But I do believe in the Guinness Book of Records, there's supposed to be most calorific burger. So we'll go in here. There it is. Most calorific burger commercially available. Guinness Book of Records. Okay. The 1.4 kilogram, 3 pound, 2.94 ounces quadruple bypass burger, packing 9,982 calories. Now, how is that even possible? This equals 6.91 calories per gram. In April 2012, burgers sold for $16.63. Sales tax included. Heart Attack Grill prides itself on being the world's most unhealthiest restaurant. It has 4 half-pound hamburgers, 3 tablespoons of lard. Okay, so they add lard to it. 20 slices of bacon. That's about a pound, right? That's like Rick's Heart Attack Burger. 8 slices of American cheese. No. We don't put this cheap crap in a Heart Attack Burger. 20 slices of onion. We don't put that baked in lard. 8 tomato slices. No. 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise. No seed oils in Rick's Burger. 2 tablespoons of ketchup. That's a no-no. Tablespoon of mustard. That's okay. And 1 bun for a total weight of 3.184 pounds. Okay. Customers may opt for the Heart Attack meal. Okay. Fries and shake. Calories of 12,000. It was introduced in October 2005. So the quadruple bypass burger has been out for what? 21 years? That's a long time. Whereas Rick's Heart Attack Burger was introduced, but it's not commercially available, in 1986. So that's pretty much what I was talking about. All right, where do I go? There I am. All right, so anyway, let's hit the rest of these comments. I had a bone-in slow roasted pork butt. Nice. Last week, just about the best I've ever ate. That's great. And Paul is here. Okay. All right. I need that magnifying glass. Well, you can buy one like that at Harbor Freight, I think. That sounds good. I'm due for some pork too. Yeah, pork is good at times if you're not allergic to it. And waiting for my CGM to start up. Okay, got to keep that blood sugar. And Liz is here. Yum, homemade pork rinds. Yes, they're delicious. I've made videos on how to do it. It's very simple. You can also do it in a convection oven. I know a lot of people use the air fryer. That is an excellent way to make pork rinds. It takes no effort on your part, and you can basically set it and forget it. So if you have one of those air fryers, if you like those things, it's a great thing to do. Quarter pounds is a teaser, yeah. Love green boiled peanuts. Yes, they do. Boiled peanuts are huge in the South. Mexican special, but really good, huge pork rinds. They have what they call chicharrones, which are similar. They're pretty good. No, we're not just uneducated. We're just inbreds talking about the Southerners. All right. And my dude, a double quarter pounder is a solid meal outside the land of the giants. Well, for me, that's not a meal. But a Heart Attack Burger is. One day at a time. I'm looking forward to next weekend hitting the Brazilian Steakhouse. I did not know the history of the Heart Attack Burger. I wish you could open your own restaurant there in Florida called Rick's Heart Attack Burger Restaurant. Well, I would just call it a diner or something like that. I could call it the Muscovy Duck Diner or something. Something unique. And then I'd make sure that around the diner, the retention pond would be a lot deeper, and then there'd be ducks in there. And you tell people, feel free to feed the ducks. Usually you go somewhere that says, don't feed the ducks. Over here, duck feeding is encouraged. Go ahead and feed them. You never know. When we get too many ducks, there might be a special in the restaurant. How would you like Barbary duck? Delicious. The Muscovy burger. It's made from 100% free-range Muscovy duck. You know, I looked at the retention pond. There's a lot less ducks than there used to be. Oh, maybe they flew away. Maybe they flew into the kitchen. Okay, God has been healing me. Excellent. I'm believing for my total healing. That's good. You do your part, he does his part. Just Heart Attack Burger. Short and sweet for the title name, yeah. Rick's Heart Attack Burger Special. Have a carnivore truck and only serve meat a la carte. There we go. A virtual traveling meat show with Milton and a wraparound cat cave for entertainment purposes. Milton's so funny. All right, let's see. Will I ever catch up? Probably not. But we're going to have to wrap this up. because I'm going to be hitting there. Yes, a meat truck. There you go. If you've got bowling, I'm in. Well, I do have bowling if it hasn't rotted away by now. And North Dakota Carnivore Land says, good morning, Rick and all. And Rick says, good morning. Love that Milton, perfect mascot. Yes. Broke is a joke, but rich in community. That sounds very familiar. Good night, darlings. It's late here. Love you guys. Well, good night. Hope you enjoy and get a good night's sleep. Yes, Rick, a 50s diner. It would definitely be, if you've ever seen some of those places like they used to have in Los Angeles, most of them are gone now, or maybe the old Denny's or some of the old diners. That's what it would be like. It'd be just like the 50s with the sloped up roof and lots of neon. Rick's cardiac arrest grill. Well, I do have also the coronary cluckers, which was Rick's version of chicken nuggets. So there's all kinds of good stuff. All right. What would you have in the kitchen for cooking? Diesel engines. Well, that would be if you have an outside barbecue, but no, I'd have the typical 1950s, because the whole idea of the diner is that so people could see the food being cooked, not like now where you have dirty dining where kitchen's disgusting. You go to a regular restaurant, you don't see the kitchen. The idea of the diner is that it was lined up right there. People would sit on stools and you could watch them cook. That way, there wouldn't be any mystery as to what goes into the meat. It'd be the same thing. I don't know how I would get around the government regulations, but if I had my way, I'd bring the duck right into the kitchen after it has been cleaned up. I'd have a camera outside where you can see the duck processing taking place, from grabbing the duck from the fattening area to the duck guillotine. So you have camera right there, and you're feeding the ducks, and then you push the button for the duck guillotine. The light comes on, and the first duck that sticks his head through, and that's it. And then the cage holds the duck down till it stops moving, and then you take your duck over to the boiling water to strip the feathers. But again, I don't think in the U.S. you could get away with that. Maybe in another country, you never know. Your duck is fresh, just like the seafood place. They pick your crab right out of the tank, and they cook it there for you. I don't know why you can't do that with the ducks, but it would be interesting. I can tell you that. And I'm sure a lot of people would be in horror. It'd probably make the news. It'd be worse than the Heart Attack Grill. All the PETA people would be out there protesting. Oh, what are you doing? And then, if you got a big enough place, you could even have your own little corral. You could have a cow there, like kind of a mascot, and kind of like what they used to do at Chick-fil-A, where the cow would have the sign, eat more chicken, with chicken spelled wrong. And, of course, you'd have parking lot chickens running around. That would be par for the course. And then in the restaurant, you have, like, we don't serve duck food. Have a neon sign right over the cooking area. We do not serve duck food. So it'd be kind of funny. I think the whole thing would be a riot. And, of course, everyone would drink out of glasses. Your salt shakers would be glass. Everything would be glass or stainless steel. I think it'd be a pretty nice place. And it wouldn't last long because it wouldn't be able to compete with cheap crap that's overpriced. But it'd be good stuff. I think in a small town where you had a lot of people you knew, I think it would do quite well. You could offer for, let's say, $10, just something where you can eat. You could have some bacon, eggs, and a piece of meat to go with it. Maybe for $20, you can have the heart attack burger with little extras. You could have a side of iguana or Muscovy duck or whatever. I think it'd be pretty nice. I mean, if I had the money, I'd go there. Just to go somewhere and have somebody cook me a heart attack burger, it would be worth it. And because it's a diner, you're not pressured to make tips. The menu is, well, you pick what you want. You go to the counter. I want this. I want that. The menu's right up there on the wall. They don't give you a stupid menu where you got to look, oh, I want this. No, it's right there on the wall, and you can see it being cooked. So I like the idea of the diner. And as Peter has said many times, you have these small-town diners where people sit around eating bacon and eggs and drinking coffee. And yes, there would be coffee at my diner, even though I don't like it. So not only would it be Rick's or whatever, Heart Attack or diner, there would be a little thing that says coffee shop, a little neon sign just like they had in the old days. You need to make your pizza. Yes, the pacemaker pizza would also be on the menu. Do you have wood shaving on for the pucks? My uncle had one. Cousins, you put wood shaving on for the pucks. Shuffleboards. I don't have one of those. I don't think I've ever seen one. There are worse things than being broke, being rich and broke at heart. There's a lot of people like that. Cook with poop gas in the grill. Well, that there could be a big methane digester out back and then a pipe running to the kitchen to cook with poop gas. That's true. Burger without bacon, like a day without sunshine. I agree with that. Absolutely. I love 50s diners with roller skates on the staff. Well, there you go. That would be kind of interesting. I know the Heart Attack Grill has its nurses, but you can get the pretty gals, or you can get some of the guys too, you know. I mean, there's women there, or maybe there's some of the gay guys, they want to hang out there. So you have a mix. You have the pretty gals, and you have the good-looking guys, and they're all on roller skates. So you have your diner, and you have your drive-in area. That would be interesting. But it'd have to be in a small town where the real estate's not expensive, and where I'm on the county commission or have some of my friends on the county commission, so I don't have any zoning issues, because you know, if it's a Rick restaurant, it's going to have a massive neon sign. This thing's going to look like it came out of Las Vegas. It has to be at least 40 feet tall. Huge. Big letters and an arrow. Neon all around the building and on the inside. And then you have big windows, and you have lots of tropical plants and big rocks. And it's just like you drove up, and as soon as you hit that parking lot, it went from 2020 whatever to 1958. It's 1958 right there. And the smell of delicious meats and bacon and eggs and all the good foods draws you in. You're like, I got to go to this place. I know it's a greasy spoon, but I can't resist. It's better than Waffle House. Although I do have round lights like Waffle House, as you can see. There's a few of them. Oh. Anyway. I'll have to get some custom-made light fixtures, like the ones we used to have that were the prismatic glass, the Hall of Fame. They don't make them anymore, but I can make them. I'll get them made, even if I have to get them made overseas. And everything would be custom. It'd be like, remember when they had Burger Chef? They had those sort of flat-sided lights that are real collectible now. It could be a trend, but I just, corporations hate that stuff. They hate the space age. They hate the 1950s. Anytime they see something like that, they have to get rid of it. It's like kryptonite to them. They don't like that, because that's when the average person had a shot. When you had the mid-century 1950s, people made money, they could afford to live, and they had a lot of style. It didn't cost a lot of money. The corporations, they hate that. That's why they did what they did to Las Vegas. Las Vegas was like that, but they've wiped it all out. They've made it corporate, ugly, plain, just, oh. You take away all the color. You take away the chrome. You take away people's hope. Like I said, we had an imitation diner not that far from here. They painted over it. It looks like crap. It was a cool little, I think it was called Moonlight Diner or something like that. And now it's Latin House. It's a joke. Anyway. Why did I never get this right? Okay. So let's see here. Rick's Defibrillator Restaurant. There we go. I love playing shuffleboard when I used to go to the tavern. Oh, okay. It was Grease. Yeah. I remember that movie. That's the same thing. That was Mel's Drive-In or whatever it was. All the McDonald's stuff tastes the same. You put your bag in your car, the stench remains for days and days. Well, there's never been McDonald's in my car, so I guess that's good. There's the power you're supplying. It's electrifying. Okay. That CEO guy took tiny bites of it. Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. Well, when I make my Heart Attack burger, when I get the ingredients to do it and the time, you're going to see how I eat the Heart Attack burger. If anyone's ever watched me eat, there ain't no tiny bites being taken. Most of the time, I will eat without a shirt so that the grease just runs down. I don't have to worry. But if I'm wearing clothes, I'll have to be careful. But I will eat, and I typically put the plate right here, and I shovel the meat in, and the fat is going all over me. That's the way it is. Almost $12. That's ridiculous for that silly little thing. Are you kidding me? Yeah, right? Better wake up, Mom. How many calories do you think your heart attack burger has? Amy calculated it. It had to be at least 4,000 or 5,000. I don't know, but I don't want to waste one by burning it up and trying to calculate the calories. I guess I may have to do that. I'll find some way to do it. Maybe I'll make a small piece and then estimate it. Pretty sure they don't use real cheese. Well, the FDA defined cheese, but not real. Yeah, right? And Maria Kelly, good morning, all. Well, good morning. Glad that you're here. Listening to Olivia Newton-John all day yesterday. Well, there you go. Probably thinking about that Grease movie. Cass, I know. I don't eat out. But if I notice my grocery cost increase for that, I am no fool. Yes. I want to go there. But to be paddled, not for the burgers. The Heart Attack Grill, yes. I do think the site is selling burgers. Okay. And let's see. Carnivore Farm Mom, yeah. Wheat seed oil, nightshade, sulfur, and other anti-nutrients. Should have stopped with bacon and beef. That's what the Heart Attack Burger does. So I'm not the only one who saw that. I wonder if sure the beef and chicken, fast food injury. Actually, that's a good question. I think when I read, it was like 6,000 calories. Okay, so, and Aaron not only made but ate the Heart Attack Burger, and you probably didn't gain any weight from it, which goes to prove that the whole calories thing is nonsense. Good question. I bet it's a huge share, and that's why fast food remains. Some ranchers are making bank by selling their stuff only to fast food places. When it's raining or super cold, I'll take the kids to the indoor McDonald's playground. Around here, they got rid of all those. They turned them into black, white, and gray boxes on occasion. Okay. They have a balloon man, which is super fun for the kids. When doing electrolysis, why do you use a battery in parallel? Some people were just using the battery charger. The reason I do that is because my battery charger has a lot of ripple and it doesn't work as well. What ends up happening is the center of the part gets clean and the outside of the part doesn't. But by putting the battery in parallel, it smooths out the ripple, and that's what does it. It all depends on what method you're using. Okay. Oh, my goodness. I got so many comments. I'll never catch up, and I got to hit the flea market. At least 2 Heart Attack Grill mascots died. Yes. How much you want to bet they blame the meat? Well, one of them was, his name was Blair River, although they say River, Blair River, whatever. It was a 6'9" or 6'8". The guy was taller than me. He weighed over 500 pounds, and he died of pneumonia. Well, I wonder why. How can you breathe when you're that large? And the other one was a thinner guy. He was in his 50s, and he died waiting for the bus after leaving the Heart Attack Grill. And I forget what his name was. And I think John, the owner of the Heart Attack Grill, got a hold of his ashes, and he used it as a marketing stunt. He had the ashes in a bag. So that was, yeah, but they'll blame the meat. But then again, if Heart Attack Burgers caused a heart attack, and Heart Attack Chicken caused a heart attack, and the Pacemaker Pizza caused a heart attack, and the Heart Attack Shrimp and all that, then I would have the worst heart health of anybody. And if anyone's met me in person, they know that I'm about as far from a coronary disaster as you can imagine. The cardiologist wouldn't even want to waste their time with me because he couldn't catch me if he tried. Wild-caught Muscovy. That's it. Muscovy duck is delicious. I got duck cravings already. And there's a bunch of ducks over there at UM where the little swap meet is. So anyway, good morning. Quackers from Goose Creek, South Carolina. Good morning. Something funny about my oven. The other convection ovens had huge stickers that would say air fryer. Yeah, which is what a convection oven is. That is correct. They've been around forever. I have the old version of it. Free steak for Rick. The freeloader may get a job, buy a new car. Okay, we have somebody over here. Let's see. Does Papa Carnivore, you going to give me a penny for him? I love the trolls. Well, welcome, Mr. Troll. I'm glad that you're here. Maybe you'll get our views up. All right. Hi, Rick from Slovenia. Carnivore Muscle. Hello. Well, hello, Jonathan. What is this? There we go. Why do I always get this wrong? Come on. There we are. And hello to Jonathan. And Terry Girl says, Frank, are you agreeing with envy of our Rick? Yes, I think so. Frank, how lovely to see you. There we are. We always got to get one of them. There was one over there trying to tell me to get a date. It's kind of fun. I don't know if it's real or AI, but if you're real and you're wasting your time on my site, then you need to go out there and get a job yourself. That would be Very handy. And we have a good morning to Jonathan. And Jonathan says, how is everyone? I'm doing pretty good. No vegans allowed at the Heart Attack Grill. I don't think any vegan would want to go in the Heart Attack Grill. That's like the worst place. Not only do they have high fat and high sugar, they also promote smoking. So it's, I guess their vegan menu is cigarettes. That's how funny it is. And I think they also offer candy, cigarette candy for the kids. The truck should play Grandma's Crochet Chord. Yeah, right? I got to get that copy of the song that she made for my channel. I haven't done that yet, but I do need to do that because I'm too busy working. Oh, man, I thought it was a freeloader. Okay, good morning to Retired Rick. Hello, Jonathan. You're easy to listen to. Look forward to this live. I'm glad you do. Yes, make the pizza. I got to do that. Coronary plaque duck quack sandwich. So there you go. Be careful. You spend Jonathan's. He goes crazy. I've made that mistake. Okay, well, we know. You could have an outhouse near the truck so people could contribute to the fuel. Well, that's true. And they do sell a device called the home biogas device. All right. Hey, Rick, just tuning in after getting back from Discount Tire. I go to the tire place once in a while to check the dumpster. All right. Gary, did you drive? All right. And Jonathan being good. And Gary No Slow is there. Terry Girl is there. No tiny bites being taken. That's right. We have old Pizza Hut that was turned into a really cool 50s diner. Always busy, good food and service. Folks here love that place. And that's it. Rick's Brunswick Bowling Alley Burger. Yes, I have 2 Brunswick A2s. I could even put the bowling alleys next to the restaurant. That'd be pretty funny. I don't know how people can afford to compensate fast food. Industry groceries are cheaper than one meal at McDonald's. Yes. Too bad that people don't like to cook these days. Well, that's because people don't know how to cook or they think it's intimidating. But when you're on the carnivore diet, cooking is extremely easy. Yes, I drove my car that I just got back from my mechanic after a year and a half. That's pretty bad. I actually lost weight because I wasn't hungry to eat for a couple days. Well, there you go. Aaron, that's great. But you're healthy, so you can afford to lose a little weight if you want. Gary, look at you. Yay. Good morning, all you quackers. Well, Gary's saying good morning officially just about the time that I'm getting ready to wrap this up. But I guess I'll be seeing you in the not-too-distant future. We have a new wing place that opened here a few days ago. I'm waiting to see how it goes before I go in and venture the cuisine. Well, check it out. Make sure they're not using seed oils. And there we go. Morning to Julie and Jonathan. Yes, that's how you spell his name. Don't do it otherwise or you'll regret it. Glad you're well, CB. I'll be driving that car to the OGC meetup this Friday. Yes, and I'll be seeing you. I'm looking forward to it. Sandy, hi, sweetie. Just met some neighbors while trying to sell golf balls. Huh, golf balls? I mean, near a golf course? Okay, what's the car and the year? There you go. All right. And had to, okay. Call Abbott. New sensor failed. Oh, I guess your CGM is acting up. Failed. Okay. And we got that. No sales, but let the little kids pick one of their choice. I listened to your song, Rick, and I loved it. Yes, it's interesting. Rick, how is Milton? I hope Miss Kitty can come in the house soon. She's so sweet. Miss Kitty's afraid to come in the house, and Milton was very active early. Now I think he's gone back to sleep. Okay. Eat a ham bone. Good morning. Lexus. Okay. Those Toyotas are pretty good. Must be a misprint. Rick's Quack Addicts Restaurant. All right, Rick Milton and Miss Kitty and all the Saturday Quackers. And I think I have caught up with the comments. I may have missed one. No, I don't think I missed any. So we're doing really, really good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to be transitioning this live. I'm going to take my mobile device, wherever it is. It was here. Did Milton eat it? Well, I lost my mobile device. This is odd. Oh, here it is. All right. So I have my iPhone 13 or whatever this thing is. And I am going to try and take this with me. I'm going to fire up the van. And I'm going to hit the ham radio. There we go. I got the key from my van. As you can see, my vehicles use metal keys. I don't have that little bulky plastic thing that makes the key look obese. And I got the key for my shop. I got the key for my Bobcat. Yes, I have a Bobcat. I have a couple of them. My front door key. And the key for my bicycle lock right here. So I lost my other key ring, which had the rotary phone thing on it. It disappeared. I don't know where it is. I've never been able to find it, but that's okay. All right, let's see. So let's get these comments back again. Everyone has a ball around me. Okay. Haha, Gary. And Rick. Gary lives on a golf course. I knew he was rich. And Uncle Charlie, good morning. Well, there you go. I wouldn't want to live next to a golf course. I'd rather live next to the dump myself. And then that way I can go shopping whenever I want. But then again, if I had my way, I'd live next to a junkyard. The thing is, I would have the junkyard. So I would select all the good junk and have that laying around. I already have one in my backyard. So living next to a junkyard, that's normal for me. It's a great place to find stuff when you need it. Okay, good one, yes. Rick, can you fix my old ham radio? If I have a schematic and I have parts, I can fix anything. Remember the ham radio swap? Yes, that's what I'm going to do again. Now, I got my envelope. Where is that envelope? Here it is. I use this little bag to put the phone in it so it doesn't keep triggering the phone. So we'll do this. And I have a little holder in the van to hold the phone. So I need to get this going because where's my driver's license? Oh, I hardly ever drive. I don't know. Okay, yeah, I got it in here. It's in here. Okay. And I got my swap meet money, so I can go down there and hit the old swap meet. I got $60 in there. I'll probably spend 20, hopefully no more, but who knows. Good morning, Rick, Mr. Milton, Miss Kitty, and your quackers. Well, Tammy, good morning. I'm winding this down. Today's a neighborhood yard sale. Lots of scavengers driving around here. They got the neighborhood yard sale down the street. I don't know, Rick. The dump on a hot summer day. Well, it's not a garbage dump. It's the dump where you dump junk cars and lawnmowers and yard stuff. My backyard doesn't smell like anything except flowers because that's what's growing back there over the junk. All right, so got to go to the farm store. Catch you all later. Bye to retired Rick. We got to buy over here. And let's see. Many Mexicans play golf around here. Well, that's good. I guess it's not that expensive around here. We call a golf course a future development because that's what they do. The Calusa golf course over here is going to be a bunch of crappy houses. They build the development, they attract people to the golf course, and then 30, 40 years later, they sell it for high-density development. And then your neighborhood is a dump. So I'd rather have a real dump than a fake dump. Gary, are you a golfer? Well, there you go. All right, so it looks like we have reached the end of the comments, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and begin to end this live stream and hopefully continue another one from my mobile device as I go to the swap meet. And that's going to be at the University of Miami at the end of Miller Road, which is the street that I live on. It just goes east and it ends right there at the university. Hope you find something good at the ham swap meet. Yes. Yard sales. Hope you find something. Again, I looked at the yard sale down the street. The only thing I might be interested in is that box of hubcaps. And if it's a good deal, I'll take it. If not, somebody else can have it. Everyone have a great day and weekend. Eat meat. That is correct. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I will, let me see. How many people do we have here? Swamp meat. Well, there you go. How many people do we have here? Deliver it part. Okay. There you go. I haven't played golf in 10 years. All right, let me see. And Tom is here. What do you know? Haven't seen you in a while. Catch you on the rebound. There you go. Now, let me see if... Where is my channel? Oh, here we go. All right. Did I lose my own? Well, that's interesting. Is it stuck? Let me see something here. All right. Let me hit YouTube. And let's see. Okay. All right. How many people do we have? Wow. We have 58 people watching. That's pretty amazing. 58. I think my views are getting higher and higher. That's crazy. But anyway, let me go back to the comments. Let's try to wrap these up. All right, so we have a hello. Have a great day, y'all. Happy hunting, Rick. Well, thank you so much. Bye, Rick, kitties, and everyone. Have a great weekend. Yes, have a great day, everyone. I got 61 at that time. I'm smitten for the kitten, Milton, but also Rick. I think my live stream is definitely on the uptrend. I don't think I have to end it anytime soon because people really do seem to like it. And shows over here, 58 watching. Let me just refresh this thing. Okay, we're going to refresh it. And I have 58 watching. Okay, that's really good. So it's been a couple of hours. I still have 58 people watching. I see people do lives with only 3 or 4, but I tell them just keep going. You'll get more. If a quack like me can get this many viewers, that's actually a really good thing. And okay, awesome. Started streaming 2 hours ago. Wow, not bad. Yeah, because I always start a little bit early with the music. But anyway, I'm going to hit the yard sale. They usually clear out of there by 11:30. So I want to make sure that I get there before everybody's gone. And I'll do that. The main yard sale, I think, goes till 1. All right, let me go back to the main display. And let me finish off the comments. And I will... Oh, what did I do? Okay, I messed up. There we go. All right. Okay. Rick, your girlfriend is here. Okay. Did I miss that? I don't see it. All right, well, maybe I missed it. Okay. Sandy, back off, honey. Well, there you go. Well, Sandy's for, what's his name? Tuca. Tuca, the muscle guy. It's always got the muscle shirt and... Okay. We have a nearby restaurant that looks your meal in a clean pan, and you can choose the fat you want. You mean cooks your meal? Yeah, that makes sense. What are you looking to buy at the swap meet? I don't know. If I like it, I'll buy it. If not, I'll come home with my wallet full of what I came with. No cat fighting over Rick. Yes, his admirer here. Sweet. Okay. And Chuck says, see everyone soon. Yes, I'll be seeing you in the not too distant future. Have fun. I will. Plant-based mom. I didn't see plant-based mom. That's weird. Maybe YouTube is hiding that from me. Okay. Hi, sweetie. Are you male or female? Well, there you go. That could be an issue if you're male or female. Yeah, we don't... Or it might be none of the above, knowing today's world. Who knows? Or transforming. Why do I not see plant-based mom's chat? That's weird. Oh, well. I've clicked on every chat, and it's come up. Okay, let me go back over here. What in the world am I doing? Oh, all right. Anyway, I think I have reached the end of the comments. It's about 2 hours. Hello from the UK. Are we going somewhere? Yes, to the swap meet. Okay, there we go. Female. All right. Okay, I saw her. Yes, I did. I'm just in a hurry to get to the... Okay, the swap meet. Plant-based mom. Well, there you go. But anyway, people can call themselves whatever they want. Male, female, who knows? It's YouTube. Could be anything. Could be AI, for all I know. You could be male or female or computer hardware. I don't know. Going to swap meet, George. He'll be back soon if he can get his butt off the couch. Yes. Rick is going to the yard sales. That's correct. Swap meet. Well, there you go. Well, anyway, it's almost 10. And hopefully my van will start. It should, because it's been on the battery charger since yesterday. Thanks, Rick. I'm heading for the kitchen now. Making me hungry talking about your burgers. Well, cook up something good. You're going to enjoy it. Sounds fun. And again, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow on Sunday at 1 Eastern for the Carnivore Sunday School with the Carnivore teacher and friends, Juliet and George and guest. You never know who's going to be there, so... We'll keep our eyes open. All right. Let's go ahead. We're going to end the stream. I hope everyone's enjoyed the short. Since when was 2 hours short, right? But the short live, if you wish to join me, keep your eyes open on YouTube. I'm going to see if I have enough Wi-Fi, and I will go to the swap meet. It may take a while, because when I'm driving there, the Wi-Fi is not continuous. But once I get there, I'll try to activate it because there is Wi-Fi around the university, and I will see if I can send you some videos. So have fun. And I'm going to cut it off. I'm not going to do any music because I'm not really ending the live stream, but I will definitely try to bring it up once I get it. And Plan Place Mama says, see you, folks. See you. And again, hopefully you'll see me in a few minutes when I'm on the road and I have some Wi-Fi. Have fun at Swap Meet. See you soon. Yes. All right. Goodbye.